Recreation Department is committed
Touch the big long button.
to building a vibrant, healthy community for future generations through accessible recreational facilities and programs that promote physical health, social engagement, conservation, and cultural appreciation.
Okay, thank you. First off, before we get to the minutes from last meeting, there's a gentleman who watches our Parks Board meetings every month, so I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Vogelin. I appreciate you watching all of our meetings and keeping up with what's going on in the city, so I know you're probably home watching, so welcome to the June Parks Board meeting. Okay, approval of minutes. You all got a copy of the minutes from the last meeting. Are there any additions or subtractions that need to be made? With there being none, we will move on. We have no old business, so we'll jump right into new business. Vending machine proposal from Anna Ortiz.
Anna, you want to come on up? Come up here to the table and talk up here. Here, up here by the microphone in the center.
Little black thing for light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that weird looking, I wonder if it's on. Is there a green light to it?
There is a green light.
Okay.
So, hi to everybody. My name is Ana Ortiz. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, and I've been living here in town for 6+ years. I'm presenting to y'all a business proposal. It's vending machine lines of cultural items. These machines will have snacks and drinks rotating from around the world. So not just Americans, not just Puerto Ricans, but Dominicans, Haitians, Mexicans, from Japan. I know some people in town that are from very far. And let me read y'all just a little bit of this to make sure I didn't leave anything. Like I just said, the purpose of this proposal is to present a unique and innovative business model of cultural vending machines. These cultural vending machines will provide a selection of items that represent various cultures in a convenient self-service format. Taste of Culture is uniquely qualified to meet these needs because of our deep passion for cultural diversity. The global marketplace for cultural products has expanded significantly, but access to authentic cultural experiences remain limited, especially for people outside of major metropolitan areas or tourist hotspots. People are increasingly interested in experiencing different cultures, but face with barriers such as lack of accessibility, cost, and knowledge of where to find authentic items. The cultural vending machines will offer a rotating selection of products from around the world, which include authentic snacks and beverages. Most products will be sourced from trusted local suppliers to ensure authenticity. We have a future development on them, which will not be right at hand once I start putting them out. They will not have this feature, but it's scheduled to be, let's say, 10 months to a year after. Interactive. There are touchscreens for additional cultural information, including the history of origins of each items. So the vending machines will have the option to, when you click on an item that you want, it will display on a screen where the item's from, the origin of it, where it came from, and just the history of it behind it. And we are hoping that this will bring a little bit of knowledge from every culture at least a little touch into the town, about a little bit of history from where people that reside here in town are from, other people cultures and stuff. It's just a step into trying to bring people together. That's about it.
So what do we need to do? Like, how are we involved?
Well, because Anna is starting your business, right? I didn't, I felt like it was important that it was a buy-in from the whole park board. It wasn't just me. And it does need a lease of some sort. If she's gonna put one or more vending machines in the parks, we have to come to an agreement about what parks. And that's something that you and I will get to work out. But I don't disagree with anything. I never saw the market, but she sees the market, and I think that that's one way that we can accommodate the various diversity, the cultures in our community. And that's what we're there for, just for everybody. So anyway, we don't have any, except for the concession stands, we don't actually have any food vendors, any food of any kind in the parks. We have Coke machines at Mulehausen, Riverside, Spencer, Houston. And in Houston, of course, in Houston. Houston's the biggest one. But we don't have any food vendors except at Riverside, where the baseball, and then Fairview has certainly the two concession stands. But they're only open till their season is, during their season. So once their season is done, there's no concession, there's no food there at all for anybody. So my feeling was, let's see what we can develop here with one or two machines for starters and see how it goes. Is that the way you feel about it too?
Sure. I talked to Jen about it, and she was mentioning me about the drinks machines that were already in the parks, and I mentioned to her that I can do a combo machine for the parks if possible. The drinks will not collide with the ones that are already there because most of them are not from here. There's some that are from the United States, but they are different. It's like limited editions, like the Baja Blast drinks and stuff like that. Those are from here, but there's some that are not, and I'm pretty sure it won't collide with no Coke or Pepsi product. And having it because there's already one there, which is already drinks, so having a combo machine will have snacks and drinks all together in one, which takes less space.
You can see on the last page of her packet, there's 5 different kinds of drinks there. The Jarritos, Malta India, coconut water, ginger beer, and tropical Baja Breeze. Ginger beer is not alcoholic, right?
No.
Okay.
No, and the Malta either.
Dang.
That'll just get the kids right away.
Well, I put an extra because it was beer.
No,
No, it's not alcohol.
no, it's not alcohol. And also the Malta India,
Beer.
yeah, it's like root beer. And the Malta India is a malt
That was one
drink.
of my questions.
And they normally come at the very bottom says non-alcoholic drink because they normally come in glass bottles.
It does say
Like they have
non-alcoholic, right? You can see it's really little, but it's there. It says non-alcoholic.
So who are the trusted local suppliers? Who's supplying?
Well, right now I am on online websites to get most of the out-of-state ones. The rest that are Mexicans or any culture that are for me to put my hands on will be Mexican stores that we have in town, in Sam's Club and stuff like that.
So you don't have people lined up yet, really?
No.
Okay, it just said that, so I was just curious who that was.
And you said the time frame was 8 to 10 months?
That's for the touchscreen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an addition to the vending machine. Right now, it will be from here to about, I'm gonna say 3 months for me to have them out about to the parks already.
Okay. So fall, in the fall. Okay.
And these are all prepackaged snacks?
Yes.
That, you know, everything is.
Yeah, there's nothing that's coming out of my hands. It's all purchased and packaged already.
I don't see, does the park get a percentage or something like that, or how does that work?
I apologize.
Does does the parks get a percentage of the sales?
John and I, we didn't talk about it. She was mentioning something about the light cost, the bill cost.
The electricity to
Right.
operate those machines, certainly we
Right.
need to consider that. And I would say some kind of a one-time fee is what, you know, what I feel like is, certainly this first year anyway, or whenever it starts.
Well,
Do we have vendor pricing for things, or is that, I can't remember if we have that in our structure.
No, you know, like,
Like if a food truck wants to set up there, do we charge them a certain amount?
it's $200 per 6 months for a food vendor, or $40 per event.
This is obviously different because it's really unmanned. It's just a vending machine.
Yeah.
who maintains this? In my past, I was involved with the AIM complex, and we had, the pop machines were always, people throwing sand into it, and so you had to go out and maintain it on a pretty regular basis. Would you be doing that, or?
Yes, me and my family. My dad is an electrician and handyman, and he helps me with all type of construction types. Yeah, that I have.
Well, especially when it goes to nighttime and there's nobody there, it seems like it's great because you're gonna start selling product, but then people be sticking all kinds of stuff in there, thinking if they put enough junk in there, it'll pop open and.
Trying to get
You know,
everything
right.
out.
And then who pays the sales tax on this?
The sales tax, I am.
You guys do? So we'll need to have proof of that probably to make sure it's getting paid. That's always, I mean, when you have concession stands, they sometimes, you know, in this case, I assume you're not a nonprofit.
So Taste the Culture is a for-profit business.
Okay, yeah,
And they pay the sales tax.
right. So we probably just want to make sure, since it's on our, I mean, I'm not sure how they could come back on us. Yeah, probably somehow need to put something in the contract that just that we would,
Can we get that from code now?
you're a nonprofit.
What?
Profit code is?
No, the Parks Department is.
Oh, that's true. But we still have code machines in our.
Correct, right.
Where do we get that from?
Get what, I'm sorry?
You still are nonprofit. Like in our case, I get pop from Pepsi, and then we charge people, and if they buy it one way, they pay sales tax there. If we, at our old store, the dance studio, people buy Pepsi there, then every time you sell it out of the machine, they get sales tax off of that. So you have to pay them.
Pepsi has to pay it, right?
No. You have to, I mean, in other words, when there's a transaction happens, the customer needs to pay sales. So if all of a sudden you're paying, a pop is 50 cents or whatever, buck, you know, she'll need to pay the
It will
sales
be,
tax.
it will be included
State
on
of
the
Indiana.
price of that.
Right, so usually whatever the price is, they take their sales tax off on the back end of that.
And that's how Coke is set up. That's how
Right.
our
Okay,
Coke is set
that-
up.
that's
Yeah.
what I was
Yes,
getting.
Right.
yes.
But it's possible in you guys' case, you might not, since you're a nonprofit, you might not
Well,
have
but,
to.
and what, the Coke just gives us a profit check, such as it is. It's not usually very much money, maybe
Right.
$25, $40 at the most. I don't know what it is.
Well, there's two ways it works too, because like in our
So we
case,
wouldn't have to pay that tax because they're
well, I'm
collecting it
saying,
all. and-
in our case, we stock our machines ourselves.
Right.
So we get the
With your own
profit.
product.
When you just sell, you know, you just get the money and it's your profit. But
Yeah.
you do or pay, you know, they'll charge you. When you sign up for the unit, charge you tax when you buy the pop and put it in the machine, or you can, like I say, in our case, other case, we buy pop and it's in a cooler, and then that one, the customer pays the sales tax when they get it. But somebody has to pay the sales tax, and I'm not sure it makes a big, I can't think of what the liability the park should be if you weren't paying the sales tax, and then they said, hey, you're not paying the sales tax. I don't know that we would, so we probably in our contract need to say, we're not responsible for any sales tax or any liability of sales tax if it doesn't get paid.
Right.
That's my thought. And I think the whole local supplier thing is a nice thing too. If we can do that, but we need to probably have some proof of that also, that it's being, if the intention is, that one of its good features is we're supporting, it's kind of like the whole question of people with, I've heard some debate about food trucks that, that have been parking in one place all the time. You got someone that buys a building and has a building and sells, has a restaurant or a food vendor, and then this person comes in with their food truck, and so there's some of the people that have the stuff feel like her business is being hurt. No one's business is going to be hurt by a pop machine, but it is a nice thing. I mean, since you're saying that it's going to be sourced from local suppliers, that'd be nice for us to know who in town is being used, and that, they might even, they may want to give something, the food suppliers, local guys might want to give something back to the parks also, being grateful to have their products sold in our parks, maybe.
I was going to make the suggestion that if you would give me the authority or the idea to go ahead and start working on an agreement with Anna. If anybody wants to be involved in that, we can do that too. I guess one of the other things I want to see is a budget of some sort, that, and maybe a credit report that shows that she's able to handle this as well. But go ahead and get something to work on and try to have that ready for the next Parks Board meeting.
Yeah, I mean, we heard that we're not reaching out to all the cultures in our city in the meeting we had with Dave Harden
Yep.
and I've also heard it from various bus drivers that we have at the school corporation who are from different cultures. And so, I mean, I've got no problem with you doing that and getting this started, and see where we go from here.
Electricity is already in place in all these places where the machines will be, or does it need
That's
to be?
what it'll have to be,
It'll have to be.
yeah.
And then she'll pay for that, or we'll pay for that?
No, we'll pay for it, and that's what I mean, is it needs to be somehow, I don't have any way to know how much electricity one of those pop machines is using.
Well, I'm thinking more of the installation. When they put it in for the first time, they're gonna have to run a line in from someplace at all those parks. And they'll charge you something normally, just to run
Well, I
the
guess
first wire
I'm thinking
hookup
that we'll already have electricity there,
at all the
or
places.
the plug for it already there.
I think it just depends on what kind of plug the machine takes.
Yeah.
If it requires like an air
Like a
conditioning plug,
a three-prong plug?
Yeah.
Yeah, most vending machines are.
A grounded, with a grounding,
Solar volts
Yeah.
coming through it. We have estimated around $30 to $40 an electric bill if it's a combo machine
Per year or per month?
per month.
Per month on that.
And that's
It's an estimate, it's an estimation only.
I mean, just knowing what I know about Fairview, I mean, that's probably a pretty good number.
Yeah.
So-
And they say, as far as electricity goes, things that create hot or cold bore
Sure.
electricity.
Oh,
needs.
absolutely.
So whether it's a freezer or a
Absolutely.
refrigerator or a popcorn maker,
Now,
those
once you
things.
put a pop machine in with the cooler in it, it's gonna
Yeah.
use more electricity.
So then, are you thinking then that they would reimburse us $30 a month or whatever for the electricity, or how is that gonna work?
I don't know yet.
I
I
think
don't know
that's
what's-
what they need to work out
Right.
before we
I don't know
move forward with.
how she's able to handle an all-at-once payment up front, or a monthly payment. I'm just not sure,
Right.
I'm not sure where we go with that right now.
I think right now we just need to either give Jan approval to move forward with this, meeting with Anna, or not giving her approval. I think that's where we are right
Okay.
now. So do I have a motion?
I'll move that we move forward with the, I forget the name, Taste of Culture vending machine proposal.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? So moved.
Okay, we'll set up a meeting then, Anna.
Thank you.
Okay.
If I'm available,
We'll talk.
please let me know. Because I'd like to sit in on that if I'm available.
Okay.
I have a lot of free time in the summer. I do.
I don't believe you.
Oh, yeah, yes, I do. Trust me.
Thank you.
Contact.
Yes,
Yep,
we'll be
yep.
in touch. Okay.
You guys have a great night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You too. Next up, Parks Board Resolution 2025-08, donation to AMVets.
Those of you who were here several years ago, we had to do this for the clerk treasurer's office for the special officers who help direct traffic at July 4th or whatever event. And so AMVets are going to be our volunteer group to help with traffic at July 4th. And we don't pay them a fee. We don't get, they don't invoice us or anything like that for a fee of any kind. So this is to make a donation to their organization, so. And the clerk treasurer requires this from us, so. And it's basically just for traffic control.
So we don't pay them, but we give them a donation.
Yeah,
The donation window is quite large. How do we determine how much we're actually donating?
well, usually we did about 250, 300 to the special officers for July 4th. So I imagine about that same amount. So, but if we ever have to use them for something else, this helps with that. This won't have to go to the council, it just needs to be available for the clerk treasurer to be able to pay the bill,
Be able to pay the bill.
pay them, yeah.
So we're setting the amount at 250?
Yeah,
It doesn't say that here.
doesn't say
No.
that, but,
This resolution just says between $50 and $1,000.
Well, I know, but
Well, I mean, you got to put it, if you want to make it an amount, you have to put it in the resolution.
Yep. Well, we'll
I
just-
don't know that if we need to do that. I mean, if Jan says it's 250, I trust her to write the check for 250. I understand why the window's there, in case, let's say we need to use them for Christmas in the park, and we make another donation, it's covered under the $1,000 cap. Yeah. So
I
I'm
was
okay
thinking
with
the exact same thing. It was like, what if they did, half a dozen nights during Christmas in the park? Now, it may not be coming through us, through the Parks Department. It might go
That
through
would
the
be the
Parks
Parks-
Foundation.
Parks Foundation Board.
But you never know how that'll work. So,
I'm okay with it as it is. I don't,
Okay.
I agree.
All right. So do I have a motion to accept Parks Board Resolution 2025-08?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Nope, you're fine. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Parks Board Resolution 2025-08, a resolution of the Logansport Parks and Recreation Board to provide a donation to the AMVets of Cass County has passed. Approved Logansport Community School Corporation evacuation plan to use Penman Building.
yeah, this is just, this is from the children at the Berry Preschool. They're on Chase
Road.
Drive?
Chase Road?
Chase Road, yeah, okay. And so it's just the preschool kids, and they would come to the Penman building, so it's probably not a lot of it's not a big group of kids, but to use our community room there at the Penman building as a reunification spot in the case of having to evacuate from intermediate school there on Chase. I see no reason why we can't accommodate the schools in this instance.
I don't know if I need to abstain on this or not.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I should, there's no money involved, but I don't know if I should abstain from voting on this. I don't, because I'm on the school board.
If you don't feel comfortable, then don't.
Well, I'm
I don't
more,
know the why, I don't think it's.
it's more like a liability issue usually. Usually there's money involved, but I'll vote on it. That's fine. Yeah, there's all kind of, just sometimes people are weird about this stuff.
Yeah.
There are some people weird.
Okay,
Yeah, like, lots of people are weird about it.
Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the Logansport Community School evacuation plan to use Penman Building?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. So moved. Roosters request for Oktoberfest. Mr. Russell?
He's eating guys roosters or,
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate you letting me come to your meeting. This will be our second annual Oktoberfest we're going to have down to Iron Horse Park. We did one last year, and it was a trial. It worked out real well. But our goal is to do something for the community all the time. And so last year, we had talked to Steph Helton, and about, the taste didn't go on, big chances the wheel's not going to be going on either, which now it's not. So for example, this year you don't have a Taste of Cass County, you don't have the squeal, so we thought we could get an Oktoberfest going downtown last year to help start promoting Iron Horse Park, and with the Dora going on and all that type of stuff, help out downtown. We're the organization that we raise money and we give it all away. We're here for Cass County. We're here for the veterans. We built Veterans Park. We have flag fund money through the Community Foundation that pays for the flags. So we're here to ask September 20th at Iron Horse Park, we're asking to be the rental costs be waived if we could. We still will get with Jan and pay the $250 permit for the alcohol. And we've got two bands this year, Time Travelers and the Polecats out in Indianapolis. We actually brought a polka band in from out of town last year, and hardly no one came. But when the other bands got on stage, we had a pretty good crowd. So
it was
this year,
all night, I remember.
yeah. So this year, like I said, we're going to have two bands. It'll be from 2 to 10. Time Travelers are 3 to 6. And the Polecats, or as soon as the Time Travelers is done, they'll play till 10 p.m. And like I say, all the profits we made will go back to the community. So,
Using the portable stage,
yes.
do we need to be a partner with that so that doesn't cost them money either?
Well, we're not really supposed to let anyone not, I mean, we're supposed to charge everybody
Okay.
that is not already, that's not an Arts Alliance or us or the 4-H or the Logan's Landing. I think those are the four groups, plus Community Foundation. So those are really the only groups that are supposed to get it for free. So.
Well, that's what I said, if we were their partner, would they get it for free?
Yes, if we were the ones to say we're going to be, you're going to have to say we're a big part of it.
Okay, so the park's going to be involved with us on this situation.
That's what I thought.
And so it's a working relationship. We'll have Parks Department down as a sponsor on our banners.
When's I can't remember what the date that the farmer's market is supposed to be done. Is it done before that?
I think this is before the farmer's market's going to be done.
Yeah, I
Okay.
kind of think so too.
But we have plenty of parking down by the social, set-fed. They've got the, over across from the state. So I think we'll be fine on
Well, I just thought
people.
if it's done, you'd have the
Yeah,
tent, or the, whatever it's
Sure.
called, covering, carport, whatever that is.
Well, the splash pad will be done by then, so.
I mean, I hope it is, but I'm not really sure what the deadline is.
This has no bearing either way, but just curious, how come it's not being done in October?
Believe us or not, there's a lot of Oktoberfest that are not in October. Matter of fact, Carmel's, we went down to Carmel, that's where we sold the polecats. And that was in September. So we just kind of follow along with other Oktoberfest, that's all, that's around.
Okay, I was just curious.
I felt the same way first time we did, it didn't make any sense. So then after we got a group of guys that we try to go look at stuff before we do it. Then after we do it one time, we talk to bands and say, oh yeah, we went to Kokomo. Kokomo has one also. And so we try to go around and get, add new stuff, figure things out in advance. And
Make sure one of the bands plays September by Earth, Wind, and Fire, so everybody knows
Yeah,
what date it
exactly.
is. But,
okay,
Okay.
When is Horny Creek Festival? Do you know?
well, I don't know because what happened last year, they kept changing it. They asked me to be on their committee, but I didn't. But I know they end up getting plans, and then last year they ended up doing the same day we did ours. So this year, remember they were downtown, but they do theirs earlier than ours.
Yeah.
They do it during the day, quit by 7 probably. But, so we contacted them this year and said, hey, look, we're doing it September 20th. We do it the same weekend every year. We don't move our dates unless there's something major going on down at Iron Horse Park. And so I'm not sure. I know they were still trying to figure out a date. That was about 2 months ago. So,
I haven't heard whether they were actually doing it or who and what their
yeah.
plans were, what dates or anything, so. Who's in charge? Do you know?
Huh?
Who's in charge?
I think Lita and George,
Okay.
I think them two are.
Okay, good, all right.
So with Dora, do they need to get special permission from somebody
Just for the parks.
bring alcohol into the park? So we're giving approval then also to have,
We pay a permit to you guys.
oh, okay.
You guys have a policy in your
We'll
board.
have to do an alcohol.
We pay $250
Oh.
and, well, anybody,
Right.
I'm assuming. So we pay the parks board $250 for the
Okay.
permit. We have it on
Allow
file.
people to come from other places too.
Yeah.
with
And
alcohol.
then we also have to go through the excise, which is no problem. We have a plan and we do everything the proper way.
You guys been doing this a long time.
Okay, how about food trucks? Are you gonna have food trucks or anything?
They're talking maybe about one of them. The Elks will be down there, and they'll have a food permit, and they'll do like burgers, brats, stuff like that, like they did last year actually, they do right under the arch. So,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
I remember.
so do we just need copies of all these permits and
Uh-huh.
insurance and all
Yeah,
of that?
they can work through Kelly to get those permits and
Okay.
all that stuff done, so.
So we're just voting on waiving the rental fee, right?
For the stage, yeah, that we want them to, yeah.
Any other questions? So do I have a motion to waive the fee for the use of the stage for the Roosters for their Oktoberfest on September the 20th?
I think we need to make a motion to be a co-sponsor.
Yeah.
Because then there would
So
be-
that-
Fine.
I think that's how that gets.
Yeah, because we're not actually
Yeah.
waiving
There's
the
no
fee.
fee.
We're
Yeah,
just-
we're not, I don't
If we're a
think
part
we're
of
in
the
charge of
project.
waiving the fee. We're,
It's
if we
it's
are
part of our
involved,
events too,
then
yeah.
we get to use it for free or
Yeah,
something
there's
like
no
that.
fee.
Is that right?
I think so too. I agree with
So what are you gonna say?
you. We agree to sponsor.
Well, first off, then we need to rescind that motion and reinstate it.
Yeah, because nobody.
So do I have a motion to waive the stage rental for the Oktoberfest
for the Roosters in the Logansport Parks Department's Oktoberfest, September 20th.
How about this? I make a motion that the Parks Department becomes a partner with the Roosters for the Oktoberfest, and all the things that come with that.
Second.
Okay.
I think that'll, yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Because then we can request the use of
I'm
the
not,
stage and
I'm
not
not
have to pay for
repeating
it.
that.
Right.
We haven't-
I second it.
Did you second it?
I second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Yep, we're moving on.
So will we get an actual resolution or some memorandum of understanding on paper for all of this, or
You want
not?
one?
I don't know. Only if we need it,
No.
for any legal reason.
think that-
I-
As long as it's in our
You
minutes.
never know.
It's in our minutes, and Kelly gets all the proper documentation she needs, we're good, so.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate your time and efforts,
Okay.
Thank
and we'll
you.
keep in touch. All right, thank you.
Administrators Management Report, Jan.
Well, so, as I plainly received a notice from me, that we received a notice from the Land and Water Conservation Fund and the DNR that they have decided not to accept applications from agencies, and are going to use that money for state-run facilities. So, and usually they always have half of the amount always goes to the state-run facility. So I'm not surprised that that's what's happening, but anyhow. So it does not change our ideas and our hopes to improve Riverside Park with a new playground and more parking and river access and all that we want to do there. It doesn't change that, but we're just going to have to find new sources of funding to do it, so.
Okay.
Any thoughts?
I
or
mean, it may,
questions?
I just think, I think in a year or so, things are gonna shake out
Yeah.
somewhat. I mean, you've got, the schools are sort of scared, but concerned about the lack of money that they would normally need.
Well, I think the
the
city
government
is
is concerned, so I think, we're gonna, give it a year, and I think you'll be in a different
better
position,
idea.
probably. I hope.
I think that, in that regard, I do. I think that's probably a good thing too, because, and when I was there presenting to RDC, there was the memorial home and
And the farmer's
the
market.
farmer's market, yep. So those are more immediate needs right now, I think, and they're already they're doing projects, and so that's okay, so. The pool opened on time, June the 3rd, and we've been open pretty good, except this afternoon, we've had a drainage issue, and we're gonna have to call in the plumbers to come take care of it, because it's pretty bad, so, anyway, we'll get there, so. I'll tell you all the numbers for participants and lessons and stuff. I don't really have any updates on Dunwoody Heritage Park. If you've driven by there at all, the statue is all that's standing there anymore, so it's really no longer, just, it's the statue, and that's it. The ADA assessment, he got us the last of the Little Turtle Waterway documents here last week. I know he still has the golf course to do, which he's scheduled to do in July. We still have about 12,500 left in that budget line item for his work, and he was notified that was it. So, anyway, I'm looking, and I asked him if maybe he would do a presentation, not July, but August maybe, to you guys, so you have a good idea of what he accomplished and what are our priorities in the future, so. So anyway. Parks Board Planning Session on July the 9th. It's just us, it'll be dinner. I'll try to get sandwiches from somewhere. Boardwalk is what we've done in the past. or we can get some pizzas from Boardwalk or Uno's or whatever, so. You got any suggestions, anything you want? You don't care?
No, I
I'll-
don't care.
well, Kelly and I'll take care of that. So,
Handle it.
okay. I do want to ask, back up to the summer MAC operations, if we can have 3 free days, if you don't mind. June the 15th is Father's Day, and we've always tried to honor our fathers on that day, if we can. July 4th is always a big day, lots of activities, and we try to make everything else free that day, so it makes sense to have that one free. And then the last day of August the 3rd, make that a free day as well, if we could. Now, I'm hoping to get an anonymous gift for another 3 days of free, so if we can match those, I think that'd be great, so. Is that okay?
Yep.
You guys want to
fine.
approve that formally?
Make
So
a motion, do we need to make a motion then, or, okay.
Make a motion to accept the 3 free days at the pool, Father's Day, June 15th, July 4th, and the last day of the pool being open August the 3rd. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay. I wanted to let you know that we have received quite a few applications for the Recreation Director position. My plan is to work with Kevin and Lauren to do the first round of interviews. We're going to go ahead and interview everyone that applied, and from there, cut it down to 3. If 1 or 2 of you would like to be involved in that next round, I'd appreciate that, so.
What's your timeline? What's your timeline on getting through those interviews?
I don't know if we'll have anybody actually hired or recommended, I guess, before the next Parks Board meeting. It just depends on how quickly they want to start and, you know, how sure we are of who we want to hire, so, I guess that's where we're at.
If you need help, let me know, because I'm available now during the summer,
Okay.
so.
I'd like to get it done so we can make the final hire at the August Parks Board meeting, so, okay. And then as far as the recreation report, we've had tennis going on last week and this week, and we had 18 students do it last week, and we have 14 this week for a total of 32. We have 37 signed up for junior golf, which is the week after next, the week of the 23rd. Or 45 is our max, so that's pretty good. And then swimming lessons, we already have 55 signed up for that. And then the other thing I wanted to let you know is that the bike rodeo has been scheduled for July the 12th. And so they take over Mulehausen Park and they get a free, you already approved them giving a pass to them for the pool. So you did that back in March, maybe February even?
February, I think, yeah.
So, anyway, social media, I've been trying hard to keep up with that. That's a tough job. It's just hard to, I'm still trying to figure some stuff out, so. And then July 4th, 2 things I put in front of you. One is a proposed ordinance that will be at, I think, their June 23rd special council meeting about making fireworks in the parks, close to community gatherings, prohibited. So, to keep people safe, because that was one of our big issues last year, was fireworks being shot off in close proximity to people all the time. So, it's no fireworks may be ignited, displayed, or discharged within a radius of 500 feet from any park event occurring within the city limits of Logansport. This includes any events held in the park or park-adjacent areas, whether temporary or permanent, public or private in nature. So, does that seem?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So what is the parameter of the park event on the 4th? Is it the entire Riverside Park?
Yep.
Okay, so there are houses that, on High Street that back up to the park that are within 500 feet of the park. So are they just
That is not, they are not in this, I don't think.
Well, they're
Although
within
500 feet,
500
you know.
feet. That's almost 2 football fields distance from the park.
Yeah, I guess it is.
That's my only concern is, I don't know if
Well,
we can-
that's what happened, that was one of the things that happened last year was one of them took off and just from their backyard, it ended up in our playground, right in the middle of a group of children.
And that's the,
And
problem.
that's the problem. And so I don't have a problem with that, but I know there's gonna be some pushback on it, so.
Yeah, because the people that live in those houses might say
They
that
have
they're.
parties to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they have a right to shoot off 4th of July fireworks, just like anybody else in town. And, I mean, maybe they could do it in their front yard, I don't know. That was my only concern about that, is that's quite a distance. So I'm not sure if that should be modified or not. But I understand your concern too, if stuff was coming from those houses being launched into the park. I'm not sure what the
This one
answer
was
is
not
to that.
on purpose, I don't think. It was an accident, it just.
Right.
It just went haywire on them, so I don't know for sure, but, well, we can change that if we need to, so.
What's the, it mentions the penalties down here. They're subject to penalties as prescribed by municipal code. What is the municipal code on? Well, I mean, if somebody comes down there and fires something off and we have them arrested or whatever, what's the penalty that they're gonna face? Just curious, I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that question.
A fine of some sort?
And I'm gonna ask if they can't be just removed from the park at the time that it happens too, so, that's one of the things I'm gonna ask for, so, ask the police to do when it happens, so. The other thing they put in code enforcement officer in Logansport Fire Department, and honestly, I feel like we're the ones that are probably gonna see it, so.
Well, I have my thoughts on that, but I'll keep it
Yeah.
to myself.
Is this from an ordinance we used before, or is this, because basically saying it's responsibility of the event organizer to ensure compliance. Failure to do so may result in immediate cessation of activities and possible legal action. Isn't the parks the actual event
Yeah.
organizer? So we would shut down fireworks because somebody else shot fireworks off,
Well, I think it means that we would ensure compliance, meaning if we saw somebody do it, we would have to notify the police and have something done. I don't think it means if somebody.
Yeah, and we make sure people are notified ahead of time too, which we've already started that process, so, anyway.
result in immediate cessation of activities.
You could write that so that it says that you're gonna be removed from the park.
Yeah, because this says we can take legal action against our, saying,
Against us.
it's to say,
I don't know who wrote that, I haven't read it, but you can write in there, whoever wrote it, you can switch it up so that it does say that you'd be asked to be removed from the premises and be fined. You could say that.
I think we need to rewrite that part, and I don't know about the 500 feet.
This is from the mayor.
could you have it
Yes.
from the mayor?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's templated.
I'm sure he,
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because it's written kind of strangely that we will be the organizer, and it's saying that we could,
We'd have to shut it down.
yeah, we would have to shut down the whole 4th of July, and there'd be possible legal action against us by us.
Yeah, I don't.
Just make us go stay in the corner or something.
By the city,
Right,
be city council, but the park.
yeah,
I'll work on this some more.
yeah. And I don't know the distance, I don't know, 500 feet, I don't know whether,
It's just tough because those
500
houses are
feet
so
of
close.
Park events and providing,
Because, yeah, 'cause like Jason said, all those houses, they can't
Right.
just shoot fireworks.
well, I mean, realistically, anywhere you're at, 100, I mean, it's not really, I guess they're saying up to 500 feet. Within 500, I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna be within 100 feet of almost anything down there. I mean, trying to think how wide a street is, it's probably 30 feet, 40 feet. So if you had 100 feet,
Well, like I said, it's almost 2 football fields.
By the way, a football field is
So,
100 yards,
yeah.
that'd be
It's
300
300
feet.
feet.
That'd be
300
300
feet.
So
So it's like-
it's 1 2/3 football
So
fields.
this is like, yeah,
Yeah.
multiple, 2 football
Goodness
fields.
gracious.
Anyway, and then I also wanted you to see, this is the press release of what we're doing for 4th of July. Vendor setup starts at noon, and Kelly's already got 10, right?
10
confirmed.
with 2 more possible, yeah.
Yep. Celebration starts at 5. Line dancing with the Logan Stompers includes a performance and participation, so if you want to get out there and line dance with them, you can. Adam Gundrum is our warm-up performer on the stage, and then Tyler Truth is the performer at the headliner. So in the national anthem is going to be sung by Gracie Kitchell and Finley Gay, and then the fireworks show at 10:05. So anyway, and then of course, Dykeman Golf Course is going to have their 4th of July Shamble. I don't know where that name came from, but, and then the Aquatic Center, now, of course, you just said you could do that for free, but the splash pad is open from 11 to 9. And by the way, with everybody's concerns about water usage, we did cut back because it was open till 10, and it opened at 10 in the morning. So now we shrunk the hours by a couple hours, and we'll do that again later as the weather changes in August, and bring the time a little bit less. So anyway, so that's going on. Okay. Where I'm at. I'm trying to think what. They're moving forward actually on the splash pad yesterday and today. Hopefully within the week or so, everything will be set and we'll have a splash pad. My state permit request has been denied again, and so I'm going to have to I'm going to get KJG to help me get it done, and they're just requiring more than what I can provide.
Get what done?
Huh?
To get, I missed that.
The storage barn
Oh, I thought
for
you saw the splash pad.
Spencer Park.
The state is still having issues with the plan, is that what it is?
Yeah, they just won't accept what I send them, and, I mean, as enough, and so, I just called Jeremy at KJG and said, please help me,
A lot of times those guys, how they phrase it, that they can walk it down, that they could go to the State House, and
Well,
KJG could, and they could get it approved.
I kind of lost my temper on the guy that denied it again, so, anyway. Trail cameras, they've been working on them, but I haven't seen him for a week, so I hope we're gonna get him back here pretty soon. And,
You said that the installers for the splash pad, they're working on that now?
yeah.
Okay, all
yeah.
right.
And really, summer help has all been hired and are working pretty hard right now, and we're moving right along. I also put in here a referral report with the Cass County Chamber of Commerce. It tells you how many referrals they were able to make on behalf of the parks through their listings, and so they can see that through their information. So I thought that was interesting, so I wanted to be sure you see all of that. And then I also put in your packet our current balance of for the construction at Dykeman. I'm going to let Kyle tell you more about what's going on there, but we're at $107,276.17 available to finish whatever small things still have to be done, so. I think that's pretty good. So, okay, and so, turn the page, one more page. Burns Buildings, this is the quote we've received from them to remove the siding and roof. Is that roof too?
Probably.
And put in a new one on the cart barns.
And is that goes, I mean, that comes out of that $107,000
Yes.
that's left, correct?
Yes, that's what, but I need you to approve that.
43,000.
$43,227, yep.
That's going to leave us with about 64,000.
And then the actual contract will have to go through the Board of Works.
So this is coming off the cash balance, the 43,000 is coming off the,
That 107,000,
Right.
that's where this
Yeah,
is gonna
okay.
come from, yep.
I didn't know if that was something different fund or.
Okay, so I need a motion to accept the bid from Burns Construction from Macy, Indiana, of $43,227 to remove and haul away all old material, replace walk-in doors and 10-foot by 8-foot
Garage doors, probably.
garage doors, replace polycarb ride cap with new polycarb clear ridge cap, install new siding and trim and roof both cart barns. Price and material, I thought I wrote bad, but okay.
Wait a minute.
But anyway, $43,227. So I need a motion to accept this.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
And Kevin is, I already gave Kevin's.
Yep.
stuff,
So we to Kyle?
Get Kyle, yeah.
Kyle, come on up.
What color is it gonna be?
Yeah, which one of these?
I think we'll leave that to Gina and Kyle.
Oh,
Kyle,
I
fill
don't-
us in.
yeah, you know, it's-
Kelly or Kyle's mom.
Hi, Kyle.
How are we doing today?
Good.
Jan, how soon are they gonna start that, that company to do, putting the siding on the car barns? How soon are they gonna do that?
I don't know how quickly it'll get done. We still have a contract to get through the Board of Works next week, so it ain't gonna be within the next 2 weeks, probably.
Well, you should ask when they're gonna start it, you should know how busy they are.
Yeah, it'd probably depend on their schedule as well, not just.
Yeah, we'll get that.
Okay, since last time we spoke, we opened the new clubhouse. We opened Memorial Day weekend. We had over 500 rounds of golf played, which, to kind of put that in perspective, a good weekend day is about 150 rounds of golf. So, wow. So, yeah, we were busy. On a side note, we sold over 210 hot dogs as well. So we were putting our new hot dog machine to great use. Since that Memorial Day weekend opening, we've held the Chamber of Commerce outing, IHSA sectionals, our match play championship, the Ritter family outing, the Cole family outing. Men's league has kicked off, ladies league has kicked off. We've had multiple large out-of-town groups come. Today we had 3 out-of-town groups come and fill the whole morning. We actually were honored to host the Veteran Golf Association 2 times. Originally, they were going to play over in Kokomo, but with all the rain that they got over the weekend, they were scrambling to find somewhere else. They asked the course in Kokomo where should they go. They recommended Dykeman. or Rock Hollow. They called Rock to see if they had any openings. They didn't, and they asked Rock where they should go. They said Dykeman and Logansport. So they came to us on Saturday. They liked it so much they came back on Sunday too. So it was a really neat experience. They play the national anthem before they start and they have awards afterwards and give out medals, and it's pretty cool. So they said they would definitely be back. They loved everything. And all the events we've had there so far have went off without a hitch. Everyone loves the space. Everyone is able to enjoy the space without being jam-packed in or feeling like they're overcrowded. The vibe up there is just really, really, really nice. So, yeah, we're having people hang around longer after their rounds of golf, sit out on the patio with a couple of, just kind of like we envisioned it happening. It is happening. I took a picture today of our sitting area, or restaurant area, just completely packed with people sitting around our big custom table, and just it really makes you step back and just nod your head and be like, this is how it's supposed to work. And so far it's working. Financial wise, we're up about 8% in revenue for the year, which I'm not going to complain about that. We worked out of a barely functioning clubhouse, and then we worked out of a campsite, and now we're in a new place. So if we're up in revenue, that's just a plus on that. As far as season membership goes, right as of today, we're at 287 full-year memberships and 17 first-half memberships. So that's like, 304? Last year, I think we were at 270. So we're seeing growth there as well. As far as the clubhouse, the actual building project goes, Reese from Proscapes just seeded the big area, the dirt area around the clubhouse yesterday. So they've been running irrigation on that a lot, and so should see some grass pop up hopefully within the month. We're growing into what our normal operations are. We've found that, originally we were going to stage the carts around the clubhouse in front. We quickly found out that wasn't going to be functional, or someone was going to get hurt or something. So what we've done is we took the first 5 parking spaces there in the, I guess it would be the northeast corner, and kind of striped them so that we have plenty of room now to stage 3 rows of carts. It just works better. Functional wise, and we didn't know that beforehand because obviously this is all brand new to us. But it's working really well. We have a no parking area on the northeast side of the building that we can also stage carts there. So we have plenty of room to do that. Getting the carts up there has been proven to be a task. One morning, we got all the carts out, walked back and forth to do it. We ended up walking like 5.5 miles just to get all of our carts out, just to get them out. That's not even putting them away. So what we're finding is we have to schedule more staff so we can run people back and forth a little more efficiently. Again, just growing stuff that we didn't know that we would need, and we're going to be needing it in the future for sure. As far as our clubhouse staff goes, we're working our butts off, and it's kind of starting to show. It's tough work, and I'm thankful I've got a pretty good group of people that will stand by my side and get through all of that for what some might be considered not great pay to do that. But what else is going on? driving range, grass is planted in the landing area, if you had a chance to drive by there. It looks really great. We're getting fill dirt brought in to build up the hitting area. And then we plan to seed that in the fall, once the irrigation and stuff is installed. Next up, we have our two-man invitational, July 19th and 20th, which is a big thing for us. It'll be our 61st annual invitational. We have 62 teams signed up so far. We have teams from Florida, Wisconsin, Illinois, and North Carolina coming for that. Back to the clubhouse, we've had multiple inquiries about renting the space, anywhere from wedding receptions to graduation parties to, I think the high school may want to host their beginning of the year coaches meeting up there. So, I mean, that, again, it's just a testament to how well people are receiving the space as they want to be up there.
Another thing we envisioned when we were.
Yeah. Junior League, our PGA Junior League is started. Actually, we have practice in about 20 minutes. So that's where Dean's at tonight, getting stuff ready for that. Junior League is a great opportunity for our kids to get out there and play at different courses and play with each other. We hosted a Junior League on Sunday. We had about 250 to 275 people come to that. People want to watch their kids and grandkids do stuff, so they.
That's a big flock.
Yeah, so that was a full day. That evening, we, like I said, 250, 275 people, all in our cars, all on the front nine. It looked like a PGA Tour event was going on out there to watch, 6 to 9 year olds try and hit a ball 10 times before they actually make contact. So anyway, but we travel to Wabash, Cocoa, and Peru every Sunday at 5 o'clock to have matches with different courses and stuff. So it's really fun. We've tried out a couple of food offering upgrades. This weekend of the sectionals, we had shredded buffalo chicken. Everyone really liked that, and we're willing to pay, $8 or $9 for something. Just a little something that we're kind of dipping our toes in as far as offering a little higher end stuff up there at the course. Yeah. Any questions for me?
No.
Okay. No, we're like I said, the sims are being built and should be completed by mid-July. We had some GPU supply issues to get our computers built. I think those are resolving itself, so we'll have those up and running, and then we're just kind of we're going to add TVs next week. So it's coming along. So.
Kyle was the first one to use our new debit card, and it didn't go perfectly well because of more than we had a limit.
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I swiped the card, said decline, and the guy was like, "Oh, I don't know what we'll do." I said, "I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to call the CEO of the bank and then tell him to raise it for me, or ask him to raise it for me." It all worked out just fine.
It's good to know people in high places.
Good to know people. Yeah.
This is the foundation debit card, not.
Yeah.
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 All right, thanks, Kyle.
Thanks.
Oh, the maintenance barn state permit did get done. They did get accepted, and so we do have a permit to build that maintenance barn that we've been waiting for a year and a half to have, so.
Good.
Anyway, so that's coming along too, so.
All right, visitors' comments?
I just wanted to tell you that the Horny Creek Festival, that we were wondering when that was, it's on September 13th.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other visitors' comments? Board comments, Eamon?
No comment.
Mike?
All I can just say is everybody's talked about the clubhouse and stuff, the Chamber of Commerce golf outing. A lot of people said it was wonderful and not having to put a tent up, and they had that awning and stuff like that. So all good things.
It's a beautiful view sitting out on that patio and looking out. Yeah, so.
Maybe we should
Jason?
have our training out there for our
Yeah.
Agreed.
Shouldn't be doing it here. We should be out there.
Jason?
Think about that.
You guys don't get a thing done.
I'm thinking
That's the
that,
idea.
the only comment would be, I think we should do our planning session out at the golf course under the new deck.
So we second that?
Otherwise, I think
Well, all they got is hot dogs.
Yeah, you're not getting anything else other than that.
Pizza out there?
Maybe get some buffalo chicken, I don't know.
they need to add chili, or coney sauce or chili sauce to the hot dogs if they don't have that.
Jennifer?
No comment.
As usual, I want to thank Dean, Kyle, Kevin, Kelly, Jan, and the whole staff for all the work they do in their parks. It's a thankless job. I also want to, since I was not here last month, I want to say that I was disappointed when I saw Kara stepping away from the Parks Department. I wish her all the success in the world, whatever her next step in life as far as work will be. We will replace her, but she did a great job. It'll be a difficult replacement, so I just wanted to say that. With that being said, we are adjourned at 6:43.